Good day, dear friends. Again, my name is Jaydee, and welcome to Jaydee's Corner. Here at Jaydee's Corner, we will talk about random stuffs, words that I find relevant to share to everyone. For today's episode, I'm going to share to you about the word my profession, teacher. Now, before we talk about the word teacher, allow me to read to you a verse from the Bible. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will guide you with my own hand. Psalms 32:8. Do you remember a teacher who influenced your life in a positive way? A lot. I actually remember a lot of teachers that have influenced me since my primary years, secondary, college, until graduate programs. Mrs. Aquino was my first grade teacher. Before I met her, I would imagine a stranger who was stern, rigid, and mean looking was going to be my teacher, and I will still be sitting in her class for hours each day and do what she tells me to do. The tough, the tough only intensified my growing separation anxiety from home. I was not as excited as any other kids in the block who were clearly antsy to go to school. First days of classes are really heavy, especially if you're a child. There is separation anxiety from parents and from your home when you go to school. A lot of times that if parents are going to bring their children to the school, those are in grade schools. There's a lot of crying there. A lot of kids that would cry and would want to go home because they're scared of school. They're scared of teachers. Uh, but it's actually fun. For teachers, how to keep your students staying in your class is very important, especially for primary years. Back then, when being mean or strict was thought to be right and effective way to teach, Mrs. Aquino had her way differently. She just happened to be one of the best teachers I ever had. I learned a great deal from her, and her name still sticks in my mind. I didn't know why, but I realized later that by inspiring and getting students involved the, and interested in the subject can really work magic. Again, it's the job of the teachers to spark the interest of the learners, the interest of the students to love learning. It's very important. In the 21st century education, gone are the days that the teachers are the sole source of knowledge, and um, what the teacher says is always true. Okay, teachers are facilitators of knowledge, um, and it's very important also that teachers should actually engage in active participation of the learners. And I think just what the text has said, Mrs. Aquino is also is one of those kinds of teachers that sparks the interests of the learners. When my first grade teacher sensed my fear, she helped me get over it. She discovered my interest in language and music and used them to slowly change me from being shy into confident girl who enjoyed being in class every day. She helped building that foundation that got me to all set for higher levels in my education. Uh, the primary teacher looked for the interest of the learner and used that to make the learner love school. Okay, it's very important that as teachers, let's not make our students love the school alone, but let's make them love learning, love growing with while learning, and we grow with it as well. Jesus is known to be the greatest master teacher the world has ever known. He is perfect and brilliant example for one who understands and knows his students individually. When he speaks, the children and educated and uneducated alike understand. He does not tell, explain, or demonstrate, but he also inspires. People would follow him everywhere to listen, and many lives have been changed. You know, uh, being a teacher is actually not that easy. A lot of part of being a teacher is preparing for your content, okay, rehearsing on your delivery of your content to your class. Most of the times, if you go to different classes with teaching the same subject, it has different atmospheres. But as teacher, you have to deliver an atmosphere of learning and growth in all the sections that you're going to handle. Now, the most important thing as a teacher is that you deliver a meaningful learning, something that the learners can experience, is still experiencing, and is going to experience. Whether it be in real life, whether it be in the job or the program that they're having in the future, it's very important that the teachers will deliver a meaningful learning. And God, Jesus, as the master teacher, has delivered this meaningful learning. He did not only teach by his words, he also taught by his actions. You know why? Because God taught with love. As teachers, let us all practice to teach with love. You are not only educating them by content, okay, cognitively. That's why if you take a look at the development of objective, you should consider all three domains. We have the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. The affective one is very important. All of those are very important. But the affective one is also very important because it touches the affective side of the learner, which makes the learning more meaningful. It's something that they can relate, they can appreciate, they can reflect in. And that kind of teacher can make us teachers be remembered. Just like what God did. He did not only teach by his words, he also taught by his actions and by his love. Now, a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. This is from Henry Brooks Adams. It's true. There are a lot of philosophers in the history. Let's take a look at even the ancient times. We have Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, these great philosophers that are still being used until today. Some of their teachings are still being used today. We also have uh, scientists like Einstein, or let's say John Dalton for the atom, for atom, John Dalton, um, James Chadwick, and then J.J. Thomson. These are still being remembered today. These are the teachers, okay? I mean, teachers in different fields can be remembered and they do not know when will their influence be remembered. But one important thing as teacher is that let's not only want to be remembered, but let's also desire that our learners will cherish the learning that we taught them and be remembered in a nice way, in a great way, just like Mrs. Aquino. Okay? Gone are the days that their teachers are very effective, but don't get me wrong. Teachers, different teaching styles are all driven by the teaching philosophies. And it's up to us as teachers on how we deliver our content driven from our philosophies in life and philosophies in teaching. And let's always take a look at now the Bible, the words of God, and even the different prophets and disciples are all good examples of teachers. You can actually teach not only by words, you can also teach by action, you can also teach by simple things that you do every day. Okay, and being a teacher is actually being a candle, being a light. And again, the job of the teacher is to spark the interest of the learners to learn. As Christians, let's try to be teachers, okay? To spark and share the light to other people. Again, we are the salt and light. Let us be salt and light and share the light that we have, reflect the light that we have to other people so that they will remember Christ, they will remember God. because Jesus Christ is the greatest model for teachers. Again, let us always practice to be a good learner for us to be good teachers as well. Dear God, thank you for inspiring me to learn your word and for making difference in my life. Teachers, to all teachers out there all over the world, let's all try to give learning meaningful to the learners and try to make a difference for our learners. Again, my name is Jaydee and this is Jaydee's Corner. I hope we all remember and reflect to love our teachers that taught us along the way, along our years, and be teachers as well to other people as we share light to everyone. Thank you, and God be with you all.